What is going on YouTube? It is your host Bruce GNT, and we are back with another video talking about our favorite mayor. Not really, Eric Adams. So been some news, and I've been sitting on it, waiting until I can get as much information as I can. Squeeze all that information out. Eric Adams, his corruption cases have been dropped, and then after this video, we're going to talk about how he drops out of the Democratic primaries. We're going to see what that's about. So we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to jump right in, and we're going to mine out what we can.
Breaking news right now to turn to Mayor Adams is set to deliver some remarks following the dismissal of his federal corruption case. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Legal team, but specifically my counsel, Alex Spiro. Now I clearly understand why those from Jay-Z to Baldwin call on him during difficult times. Alex, thank you so much for seeking and pursuing justice and obtaining justice. As you have heard, this case, the judge has dismissed it with prejudice, making it clear that it never can be brought back. Let me be clear. As I've said all along, this case should have never been brought. And I did nothing wrong. I'm now happy that our city can finally close the book on this and focus solely on the future of our great city. I want to thank New Yorkers who stood by my side, who prayed for me, who supported me from day one, and stuck with me while we focus on the work at hand. And continue to deliver for the nearly 8.5 million New Yorkers who call this city home every day. That's who I think about every morning when I wake up here. That's who I am fighting for. Each of you make this city the greatest city on the globe. I also want to apologize to New Yorkers for having to go through this with me. A baseless case that should have never been brought in the first place. The lies spread through false leaks and splashed across sensational headlines and all of the distractions. But what I want you to know, that I never stopped working for you. Not for one day, not for 1 hour, not for 1 minute. Because you are who I think about every morning. You are my North Star. This is the city that I put on that bulletproof vest for and protected the children and families. And I think about you every day. Just think about what we have done since the indictment was brought. We reduced crime 2 record lows in this city. Delivered a record number of jobs in our city, built and created.
Again, they're listening to Mayor Adams as he is responding to that.
Yeah, we got to cut the brother off because I don't know what he was talking about at the end. And look, I could be wrong. I haven't looked at the numbers, but New Yorkers are not happy. But go off. Look, I already told you guys my opinion about it. Do I think that what they were indicting him on were things that he was, actively doing? Not too sure. Do I believe that there's some corruption going on? Of course I do. Of course I do. Trust me. It's not just him. Or not, he wouldn't be the first mayor of New York to be involved in some salacious activities, things that he shouldn't be involved in. I'm not going to speak on what I think it is, but I'm under no illusion that he may not be squeaky clean, And like I said before, I do think there was a bit of quid pro quo when it comes to, the Trump administration coming in and then him kind of, straddling the fence a little bit when it came to the Democrats and Republicans and, a little, scratch my back, do me a little bit of a favor. I do think that's the case, It's alleged, but that's what I think, just putting forth my own personal opinion. I say all I have to say, look, New Yorkers, I hope you guys have paid attention. I hope you've seen how your elected officials, especially your mayor and governor, how they conducted themselves, and you move forward with getting them out and getting better people. He's sorry to the New Yorkers about his whole snafu, but when it comes to the crime that apparently has been dropping and, the whole migrant crisis that a lot of New Yorkers are not for, and when I mean New Yorkers, I don't mean in transplants. Y'all don't count. I'm sorry, but y'all don't. He didn't say sorry about that. Nah, that's not what they're sorry about. Even though a lot of his cabinet left, even though all this wasn't true. I've seen cabinets stay on with people until the bitter end. And these mofos left. People that he's known for years. I'm just saying, to me, a little fishy. It was dropped. It can never be brought up against him again. And he's on to a new chapter of his life. Yo, I know for the past 12 months, this dude was stressed. He was stressed because shot after shot, he was getting hit back to back with things. I'm telling you right now, dude is going to sleep well from now on. Sleep well. Look, we have another video with Eric Adams, obviously. And we're going to talk about how he drops out the Democratic primary. Now, I'm going to tell you what, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to be, bullheaded and keep going and just say, you know what, I'm going to keep providing for the citizens in New York. I really thought he was going to do that. And honestly, nothing against my New York people. I thought y'all would have fell for it. Honestly, thought you guys would have fell for it. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in.
Yes, Stephen, Natasha, Mayor Adams says he's still got fight left in him, even if he isn't able to do it as a Democratic candidate. That's why he says he is switching parties, but not his values.
I'm not a quitter. I'm a New Yorker. And that is why today, although I am still a Democrat, I am announcing that I will forego the Democratic primary for mayor and appeal directly to all New Yorkers as an independent candidate in the general election.
The mayor has been plagued by a federal case involving allegations of pay-to-play and a misuse of campaign funds. Yesterday, his case was officially dismissed. And while the mayor says he's still a Democrat, the latest polls show he was not New Yorkers' first choice for mayor. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo has a 41% of the vote in the latest poll, while the mayor has 6%. Another poll found just 20% of New Yorkers approve of the job that Adams is doing as mayor. By bowing out of the Democratic primary now, the mayor has time to reestablish himself, maybe raise some money, and prepare for the general in November. This is what he had to say on Good Day New York this morning.
We sat down with the team 2 days ago prior to the judge's announcement, and we said, Eric, we have to get the campaign up and running, get our fundraising back into action. You just can't do it in such a short period of time. Let's have a longer period of time and put the team together. And after the judge announcement, we were able to move forward the way I want to and get back into the streets the way I've always done. Those who want to support the work that we've been doing, I'm looking for them to see it. The numbers don't lie. We have turned the city around. I'm excited about it.
The mayor is saying he is still a Democrat, just not running in the Democratic primary. The mayor also went on to say that he's had a hard time explaining to New Yorkers the successes of his administration because he feels as if everything's been overshadowed by issues like the migrant crisis.
I think I just won my taxes.
Oh, yeah?
I just switched from TurboTax to H&R Block. It was so...
What is going on?
Yes, Stephen, Natasha, Mayor Adams says migrant crisis.
It's not only overshadowed by the migrant crisis. I'll talk about this point, then we're just gonna roll back a little bit. It's overshadowed by the fact that people are living their everyday lives, seeing the day-to-day and realizing, wow, shit really not changing. It feels like the crime hasn't gone down. You can't blame people for that. You'd be surprised how a lot of people within New York didn't even know he had charges brought against him. They didn't. But you know what they did know? Their day-to-day and realize how tough it was. Jobs were getting scarce. Crime, even though they say it's going down, felt like it was going up. Someone got burnt up on the train. We're gonna act like that didn't happen. The whole migrant crisis, which added to the crime. And like I've said before, I'm not saying that crime just spawned out of nowhere in New York. It's always been a thing in New York, but it's gotten worse. I've seen it. The people that live up there, work in these areas and everything like that, they see it. So unless you're saying that we're just all liars, then go off. Tell me how you feel. But look, let me speak to the New Yorkers real quick. Don't be confused. He's independent in name, but he literally just said it. He's still a Democrat. The only reason he's switching independent because his constituents, his fellow Democrats, turned against him. That's the only reason. Because he did the cardinal sin of speaking out against the former president, Joe Biden. That's why. And he's not going to go Republican because they're going to kill him. They're just going to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get any votes. A lot of Democrats, a lot of the New Yorkers, even though they, I think, lean more Republican ideologically, they're going to hear him say Republican. They're going to be like, nah, get the hell out of here. You know, independent is it's moderate enough for him to probably get some votes, so people could go, oh, he's rebranded himself, even though he just said he's still a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to see like his new values. Well, I can't even say new values because he said his values are still the same. So legitimately, he just scrubbing off the name Democrat and just writing independent and thinking, yeah, it's total rebrand, totally different. Okay, sure, if that's what you want to say. Please, please, please pay attention to the policies, how these people conduct themselves and conducted themselves when they were in office, and try to choose the best person. I'm not going to hide it. I don't think he should get back in there, New Yorkers. I swear to God. I swear. If you put this man back in after he's directly stated he hasn't really changed, just his name and political party, I guess, you deserve everything you get. And you know what? I was gonna say, because people can change. I was gonna say, you know, if he comes with different, you know, policies, things that are gonna be different, how he wants to lead that party in a sense, within how he wants to lead New York. If that's different, sure, vote for him. But no. He's still Democrat in name, even though he doesn't really align with the Democrats because they turned against him and kind of bared their fangs at him. So, look, do what you want to do, exercise your right to vote. But just be smart about it. Please be smart about it. Now all you guys got to deal with is Kathy Hochul, and that's a mess in itself with her non-moving eyebrows. That's all I got for now. You guys already know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, and yeah, I'll be keeping up with this. And obviously I can keep up what's going on in, you know, Georgia and Atlanta, but this one right here, the gift that keeps on giving. That's it for now, guys. You guys already know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.